All right, so I just got done watching your video. It's about 5 o'clock in the morning. I got to get ready for work soon, so I'll probably make a part two. Actually, like playing your video if you don't copyright me. I ain't gonna copyright you. But anyway, just to start off in the beginning, when you talked about how you know more than me, or something similar to that, because you are a Jewish man and the Hebrew book is your faith and all that. And you explained that Christianity is a cult. Um, Let me start off by saying this, right? You are right, Christianity is a cult. But what I don't like is that you're claiming the book has to do with you because your people were never slaves. Never slaves. And we can really go deeper into that if you want. Just let me know. So I ain't gonna spend too much time on that. But the book really has to do with black people, especially in America. Again, if you want to talk about that, we can. All right. But just to get back to the video, the part I'm confused about is that do you believe in the Old Testament or the Hebrew Bible, or you don't? The reason I ask is because, like, you're taking some things as facts, but then disregard the other things as facts. This is why you kind of confusing uh people. All right, you're looking at the years that God gave for each individual in the book, like Shem, Noah, and all that. I know how many years Jacob was in Egypt and all that. I know all that. The point I'm making is this, right? And it's pretty plain and simple. Egypt as a nation didn't come about until after the flood. Listen to what I'm saying. All right. But you're telling me that these archaeologists have proof that Egypt was around before the flood and after the flood. All right. And the reason you believe that is because you went on Google and you saw these charts, and these charts had these made up years next to when Jacob was in Egypt. Matter of fact, so I could show the audience right here. These is all made up years, man. All right. Again, these carvings doesn't prove anything. So again, let's talk about time, all right? Because I don't want to make this long and I don't want to confuse people. Time, time itself is a man-made construct. Time doesn't exist, man. Let me try to make this clear to y'all, right? In my video, when I told y'all that no man knows how long Earth has been created because every nation had their own days and times. Now we know that there is 7 days in a week because God tells us. We know there's about 12 months in the year, right? Because God tells us. Okay. But everyone else, they have their own days and months. Like China. China has about 12, 13 months a year. Look at this right here. These are just added on days. America does the same thing. Every 4 years, they got leap year. They just add on an extra day. So when you got all these countries every year adding on days, adding on quote time, no man knows nothing. Like, let me explain, right? In America, we have what the hell is it called? You know where they fast forward time and set the clocks back? It's a word I'm looking for. It slipped my mind that quick. Every season change, they're resetting time backwards or forwards. So nobody knows what exact day it is. We have to come up with this stuff. Example, just like in Alaska, in certain parts of the year, Alaska only gets 3 hours of darkness, if I'm correct. I could be wrong, but they only get a small window of darkness. The sun is up all the time in certain parts of Alaska. In the Hebrew Bible, the people knew the day based off the sunset and the sunrise. This is how they knew the day. And then they would calculate it. Okay, this is day one. This is day two. This is day three. Again, we can go back to the beginning of Genesis. Let me do this for y'all. And I'm going to get back to this real quick. Okay. Where God talk about the evening and morning and all that. He's talking about the sunrise and the sunset. See? And then he rested on the seventh. Okay. Because he finished all his work. Hopefully, I'm not confused you. I'm trying to make this as clear as possible, right? Because this guy is saying that he's getting all these days from random people from the internet. He's getting this stuff from the internet. None of these archaeologists, these theologists, they don't know nothing. A lot of this stuff is fake. Again, this guy, I don't know. Do you believe in planets, bro? Because planets is not real. That's just something that man just makes up. Planets are not real, bro. No man has ever in his existence seen a planet with the naked eye. All these people who claim you can get a telescope and look up at the sky and you can see planets, they're lying. No man has seen a planet, no planet. All this shit about going to Mars and all that stuff is fake. Y'all live in a deceptive world, right? Just like with Iran. Iran doesn't start the new year until March. They new year don't start until March. Is this making sense to y'all? I'm really trying to show y'all how you have all these different countries in the world that have their own set of time and day. So nobody knows nothing. Then another thing, I just want to play this part, right?
Okay? So it doesn't fly when you take two of them together. That's a major contradiction. The numbers of the Bible contradict
Yeah, yeah. Let's go back.
contradiction. The numbers of the Bible broken in reality. Okay? Where the flood says it wipes out everybody. Okay? And everything was
Mm.
made afresh by these three boys, Shem, Ham, and Japhet. Okay? So it doesn't fly.
All right, and that's another thing too, bro. My bad. I'm kind of sleepy, y'all, but I just had to make this real quick, man. Cause that's another thing too. They wasn't even boys when they entered the ark. They were men. Because if you keep reading, it say right here, Noah and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives. So God is telling you that Noah and his wife and his sons' wives. So the sons' wives also entered the ark. They weren't boys. I'm not understanding where are you getting this stuff from? The Lord does not lie. All praises to the God of Israel. Again, we know it's 7 days in the week because God Himself tells us this. He tells us how many days in a week. But time itself, time is made up. Time does not exist. And let me explain this to y'all what I mean by that. Again, I did a video about this a while back too, but I could go more in depth. And excuse me, I'm tired. I might just start rambling. Only in the New Testament do you get time because that is a Greek book. It's based around Greek culture, Greek mythology. Greek, they created the whole 6, 12, 3, what's it called? The Gregorian I forgot what it's called, but they created all that stuff, man. Time in the Hebrew tradition, again, was not a thing. You won't find them having time in the Old Testament. Again, when Sabbath day came in Jerusalem, they said that they will wait until the sun was at its highest peak, which means, how can I put this? When the sun is at its brightest, its highest peak, that's noon. That's noon. That you know what I'm saying? When they know that the day is getting ready to end and you know what I'm saying, the night is coming, they will base it off the sunset. All right. They would say that the shadows, the shadows of the gate was reflecting, and that's when everybody in Jerusalem would close up shops because the Sabbath was falling upon them. Hopefully, I'm not confusing y'all. Again, you can go to the book of Jeremiah, I believe that's in. So I'll probably make a longer video, y'all, but I'm out.